welcome back, or welcome to the Indigo Plateau Live Show and Podcast. Once again, I'm here with Woodland Docs and Pat. And how are you guys doing since our little break?
Well, I took my hoodie off, so there's that.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice.
Mhm.
Y'all caught me mid-text because I didn't realize the B-roll was done. So,
I'm
hello.
like, we're going live, and Pat's like, it's all good.
Sorry. I thought I had more time. You said 30 seconds, and I was like, all right, cool. And I was
Yeah,
like, I have no concept of time.
Yeah, and then 30 seconds went by. All good. It doesn't matter. It's all good. Are you guys ready to jump into our first topic?
I would love to safely walk into our first topic. Yes.
Safe. Okay, we're gonna safely trot into our first topic, which is our top 3 favorite legendaries.
Now, disclaimer: if anyone says Mewtwo, they're correct.
I thought that was gonna go so much.
I know. My heart stopped for a second. I was like,
why? You should choose your words wisely here. Right?
Mewtwo's not my top 3, but if you still say it, you're correct. So.
Okay. Well, Docs,
Not my top 3, but we are in agreement.
Docs, you could kick us off with this one.
Okay, so not oddly enough, because I've talked about my love for Kalos before. But my favorite legendary is Xerneas.
We're gonna have overlap again.
I mean, we can have overlap, but no, I love Xerneas' design. I love the way in the game that the horns, they change colors and they blink, and being the generational fairy types and being a fairy type legendary, I think it's really cool. What you guys will probably notice is a lot of my favorite legendaries are newer. I don't know why, but they just are. So after Xerneas, come on, the animation for Moonblast all the way from the start, come on, so cool.
Yeah.
But so after Xerneas, it's actually Solgaleo.
Interesting. Okay. Excuse me.
Big Kitty Go Burr. I mean,
Big Kitty Go Burr.
Sun
Oh
Kitty.
God.
Exactly, Sun Kitty. And then, you don't know how happy I was to have avoided leaks for the entirety of Sun and Moon. I mean, I was sitting there on my couch, and I was as surprised as I was when I first played the games as a kid, when Cosmog and Cosmo M and then just became the legendary, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool. It's the best story ever.
I know, a little cosmic dust. It just evolves into.
Is that the first? Yeah, is that the first time we had that where like it evolves?
A legendary evolved. Yeah.
A lot of people try to relate Savali, type Null, and Arceus, but it's not canon. So.
Oh yeah, no.
A lot of people try to push that. But then, it's not for me. But third on my list, as long as we're counting pseudos or mythicals, I should say, Moltres. I know I don't typically like fire types, but I love Moltres.
That's not an old one or a new one. That's an old
I'm
one.
like,
no.
I mean, most of the ones I like.
If you were speaking sarcastically, it would have worked. Yeah.
Wait, is Moltres?
No, you were like, oh, that's not an old one. I thought you were being facetious.
No. Is Moltres considered a mythical?
Well, no. I mean,
considered like a pseudo legendary.
Yeah, I was trying to put it like in context of the whole pool of people that were considering for the conversation.
Yeah. Wait, I'm confused. Why wouldn't they be considered?
Oh no, I was just saying I was like including the others for comparison, like the size of the pool that we're considering.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course. Moltres counts for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
No, it's just a cool little firebird.
I mean, I like the whole Phoenix, the whole Phoenix concept around Moltres. So,
and then the retread birds, the Galarian versions are cool too.
Yeah, I contemplated putting a legendary bird on my list, but I like all 3 so much that I don't think you could go wrong there. I think I would have put.
I'm not a fan of the Roadrunner Zapdos.
That's fair. But I would have put Zapdos on my list, speaking of, only because that was actually the very first holo card I ever pulled as a child, was a holo Zapdos.
OG Zapdos is definitely something.
Yeah.
You know who would never make my list of favorite legendaries?
Dancy.
The Lake Trio.
The Lake Trio? Yeah.
Uxie, Mesprit, Azelf.
They're the
Yeah.
same
Lackluster.
thing, just reskinned.
They're fine. They're just
Yeah.
fine.
They're
Which,
stupid.
speaking of, one of my favorite legendaries are actually from Diamond and Pearl.
You seem like a
Garrett-
Palkia kind of person.
Giratina.
Darkrai.
Oh, Darkrai's so good, dude.
Darkrai, Eater of Dreams.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it now. I do have a Gen 4 on mine, but like outside of the Lake Trio, like the main legendaries in that gen are, I think, also good.
Palkia and Dialga were great. Shaman is also
So
pretty
cute.
great.
He's so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually have another one from Gen 4 that's one of my favorites, but for not like any aesthetic reasons or anything like that. You guys take a wild guess who you think what the other Gen 4 is.
That's a legendary.
Yeah.
That's on your list.
Okay.
What else is there?
Okay.
Reggie Gigas.
Oh, I forgot about the Reggies.
Yeah, Reggie
yeah,
Gigas.
those
I mean, Darkrai, I'm not gonna lie, I literally went and bought a Game Shark just to be able to get Darkrai because you actually needed the special fairy pass and you had to be at a Pokemon Center event in order to be able to get the pass to go to the island that had Darkrai and Shaman, etc. And I didn't live in Japan, so
Wait, what?
or whatever. It was okay. We're talking at this point. What are we talking? 15, 16, 17 years ago. So I don't remember the exact event you had to be at, but I mean, little 13-year-old me had no clue about any special Pokemon events to attend to be able to get the pass or whatever, whether it was in North America, Houston, Texas, whatever the hell, wherever it was. I didn't know where to go, so I bought a Game Shark, I got Darkrai, I got Shaman, and one of my favorites was Darkrai, just because of its aesthetic, its lore behind it, the whole concept behind him was great. But the reason why Regigigas is my favorite is because that was the most fun I had trying to get a legendary Pokemon I've ever had. I had my Diamond Pearl copy. I actually had Pearl. And here's little me at this temple trying to figure out what do I need to do. And so I'm popping in. I'm switching between games. I got Emerald in the bottom and I got Pearl on top. And I'm going and catching the Reggies back in Emerald. I'm importing my Reggies to Pearl, and it forced me to have to go back and replay Emerald in a way that like I didn't even know was capable of being played in to get the Reggies. The whole solving the codes in the unknown text to try to get them was just some of the most fun I had trying to acquire a legendary because it forced me to go back, get the Reggies, experience the puzzles of getting the Reggies, and then go get Regigigas by importing them into Pearl. It was just a really cool thing to where you had to have all three Reggies in order to acquire him. So that's why Regigigas is one of my favorite legendaries because it was the most fun I had trying to get one in any Pokemon game.
Not gonna lie, I didn't even know you had to do that to get him. So
it was a process
Oh my
to get
God.
Regigigas. You had to go back, catch all the original three Reggies, and import them, and then go to the temple with Regigigas in order to encounter him.
oh my god. That's too much.
Yeah.
I can't be bothered.
Oh, I was on the internet. I printed out like on Ask Jeeves, like
Oh my God.
unknown alphabet translation, and I'm sitting here with pen and paper writing this down, translating it, because this was before Reddit and all that, and people just had the answers. So somebody, thankfully, some unknown hero on the internet deciphered what unknowns meant what letter in the alphabet. And I printed it out, and I'm sitting there on pen and notepad paper. I feel like Ralphie from A Christmas Story with his little his little decoder.
Oh my god, that's great.
But it was like a 2-week process in between trying to like go to school and now it's time for me to hunt for the Reggies, and it was some of the most fun I had in Pokemon and a super memorable experience that I have still to this day. And then of course OG Shenron, who I soft reset probably 1,000 times to get a shiny of, is Rayquaza. Yeah, Rayquaza.
I like it. Yeah,
he is one of the better shinies.
Is it black and yeah?
Yep. I literally soft reset my Emerald for like, it had to be like 2-3 months to get a shiny one.
Did you eventually get it?
Yeah. I got it.
Holy
I have
crap.
him in my Pokemon game today. I imported him up all the way through the gens.
That's awesome. I have a shiny Rayquaza too.
Gotten completely legitimately?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, Doc.
Original trainer, Pokelabs.com.
Remember that? Is that still even around? I don't think so.
I still encounter some Pokelabs Pokemon on the ladder sometimes in competitive, but I don't know how they get through.
I don't know how any of that works.
Definitely they're gen Pokemon, so their code is like different than if they were naturally caught in game. It's like their coding is tweaked. So technically when you go on ranked online competitive, you shouldn't be able to use them, but somehow, some way, like they get through sometimes.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So
interesting. But yeah,
I don't know. But those are my top 3: is Darkrai, Regigigas, and Rayquaza. That's my top 3.
Nice.
And with me loving dragons, I had to pick that.
So yeah, for my top 3, so you did mention Mewtwo. So definitely had Mewtwo on my list, just for nostalgic purposes, honestly. Like Mewtwo's great. But if I'll pick another one to switch him out later, but Mewtwo. Then my second one, again, I already mentioned how Gen 4 just has like some of the best legendaries in my opinion. So I was kind of a toss-up between Giratina and Dialga, but I ended up picking Dialga for my pick.
Dialga's cool. What's his item? Because there's the Grisius Orb, the Pearl Orb, and then what, the Diamond Orb?
The Life Orb?
No.
There's Pearl Orb, Diamond Orb, and Grisius Orb, which is
Adamant Orb?
Or Adamant Orb, yeah.
Yeah.
I forget the exact names for. I know Grisius Orb is Giratina.
Yeah, I just like the concept of the space and time a lot. And Dialga's just really cool looking.
I'm still a huge fan of that story arc. I think Gen 4 is definitely super underrated for its story arc, and same with Gen 3. I don't know. I love both those arcs very much.
Too much water.
In Gen 4?
3.
You're for the weak.
Oh, in Gen 3. Why are we talking about Gen 3?
Because I mentioned that how I love both those stories.
Oh, Gen 3. Yeah, too much water, Gen 3.
No, the underground temple to get Kyogre. Like, no, yes, I love that.
I had Ruby. I was like, land.
You just had to get 99 repels in your bag, and you were good.
I got lost. I always got lost in the water.
So isn't getting lost part of the adventure?
No.
Okay.
Not when I can't figure it out. Yeah, I was gonna say
you could just fly. You could fly out away.
Not to a place I haven't been yet.
It good.
You know what's funny? Like as a kid, I didn't have issues, but I did with the remake for whatever reason. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, I'm done. I'm done with this game. But we're not talking about Gen 3. What do you guys think about are they called, what are the forms called for Dialga and Palkia? Origin?
Origin forms. Yeah, they're both. Palkia's is a little weird, but they're both cool.
Really? I don't like them. Pat,
They're all right.
hold on. Palkia?
They're all right.
I think I like Palkia's better. Hold on. Origin.
Palkia's big horse.
Yeah.
I like Giratina's.
Oh, well, yeah, that's...
Yeah.
But Dialga and Palkia, they kind of just like, oh crap, we need to do something.
Yeah, they were all right.
Give them more legs.
Giratina's cool is because like he's like a worm, or like a snake, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, but
That was my impression of a worm.
I didn't even see what were you doing. Oh wow, very nice wiggles. I like those. And then for my last one, we already talked about Xerneas as well. Dude, Xerneas is it's just such an elegant Pokemon. I don't know. Something about it. And to your point, Docs, the horns lighting up.
Yeah.
You know who that reminds me of is Xerneas, great legendary. But if you guys have ever seen Princess Mononoke, literally a spinning image of the forest god from Princess Mononoke.
I'm looking it up. I've been doing so much Googling this episode. You said the forest spirit?
Yeah, the forest god.
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay, so it has like a human face, but it reminds me of it, I guess.
Okay, that's fair. I was like,
more
yogurt.
It reminds me of the forest god from Princess Mononoke.
Okay.
I would say it wouldn't be a big stretch to say that maybe they took a little inspiration from that.
Oh, probably. I could see that for sure. But you already talked about Xerneas. So if I had to like swap one out since we talked about them, I would probably say Lunala. I really like Lunala's design.
Yeah, I didn't want to pick both from Alola, so I just went with Solgaleo.
Okay, cool. I'll take Lunala then. I like every bat Pokemon. I don't know why.
Lunala's cool.
I like bats.
I don't know. I feel like honorable mention is Suicune though too.
Play all the dogs.
Yeah.
Raiku's a cat.
Raikou is a cat.
Dog.
It's a saber-tooth.
Yes, thank you, Pat.
Saber-tooth dog.
No.
Saber-tooth Doge.
It's literally a kitty. But anyways, no, I'm not. Those are my top legendary.
This is like a thing that I've never really thought about now that you actually mentioned it, because they are considered the legendary dogs.
Mm-hmm.
But it really is modeled after a saber-tooth, and it's a saber-tooth dog cat.
It's a cat. Thank you. It's wrong. Whoever calls them dogs are incorrect.
Speaking of kitties,
But they're referenced as the legendary dogs. So
speaking of kitties.
anyways, speaking of kitties, yes.
And I'm sad.
No, we scared Nibbler away.
Oh no.
Oops. Which Nibbler's actually named after a character from one of Doc's favorite shows.
Futurama.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AKA Little Mama, because she had a litter of kittens, so we call her Little Mama. Well, a long time ago before we adopted her, but yeah.
I mean, maybe he's literally named after Ned Flanders. So.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's why I named Ned Ned.
Ned. Oh, I thought you said something else. Never mind.
Look, I can't be counted on to come up with original names for my pets. Okay.
That's fair. Docs, what do you think the inside of a Pokeball looks like?
Well, that's really good timing because that was our second topic. So
I know. I just thought of it out of nowhere.
Wow, what an off-the-cuff response!
I know.
I am of the train of thought that it is completely empty.
Really? You don't think it's like a blinged out bachelor pad inside?
Nope. It is completely empty. It is hollow. The Pokemon become spirits or digital code or something. They're not even in there.
They're not.
You think it's just like a void to where it's just like a big white room?
Yeah.
So where they?
And they're just.
What do you mean they're not in there then? Where are they?
Well, I mean, like every single time the Pokemon comes out of the ball, they're that red beam of light. Like it's some sort of spiritual, technological something.
Oh, that's still them though.
But the inside of a Pokeball is empty.
Hold on, hear me out. Put on this rabbit hole with me. So, obviously the Pokeball is like a containment vessel for Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
But when you transfer them into a PC, like you put them in Bill's PC.
Yeah.
Or are they just sitting in a blank room with a bunch of other Pokemon that are in the same box? Or like when they go in the Pokeball, do they transfer to Bill's PC to where they're just in a big open space with every other Pokemon?
Well,
Cloud.
This is the cloud. I do think there is a right answer to this. In the manga, at least, I think they just sit in the ball. They are in there just chilling. The show, I don't know if they ever actually say what the show version is. But
so in the manga, are they just chilling in a blank in a white room, just waiting to be like,
I will show you.
I choose you.
You two can
just throw them out.
Yeah, I'll show you. You guys keep talking. I'll be right back. I'll show you.
Okay. Well, because like, I think I remember something to the effect of, was it in Scarlet and Violet or was it in Sword and Shield, to where one of the NPCs or someone said to us what happens? Do you remember?
I don't actually.
Because I remember everyone freaked out, and my sick brain can't remember right now. But so they said something happens when they're in a Pokeball, and that was like mind blowing for the whole community. But I forget what it was.
I can't remember off the top of my head. Chat, does anybody remember?
What's the question?
In either Scarvy or Sword and Shield, there was like an NPC that said something happens when they go inside the ball.
They shrink. I know they get small, but I don't know if you're gonna be able. It might be blurry. See the Bulbasaur and the Poliwhirl?
Yeah.
They literally just chill. Like that's what they look like. And then there's Pikachu.
In a blank room.
Yeah, there's Pikachu. They literally just shrink down and they're just stuck in a ball.
My question is, if you just leave a Pokemon inside of a Pokeball, what happens? Do they just like starve to death? Like if you let them rot inside a ball.
I don't know. What do you
I don't want to think about it, but we've gone down this path. We're too far gone already.
I'm gonna say yeah. They probably would die after a while if they're just chilling there.
You're like 3 months down the road, Charizard, I choose you, and you just have
a skeleton comes out.
Yeah,
it just hits the ground. No,
just like probably should have fed him.
Rogue said.
Hold on, I had a thought.
Oh, okay,
Pokemon are literally Tamagotchis, dude.
Oh no!
If you forget to feed them, they just die.
I mean,
I shouldn't laugh at that, but that's so morbid. But it's so true. It's like in the Pokemon universe, it's a constant game of Tamagotchi. Could you imagine if the Pokemon games were real IRL? I have easily like 1,200 Pokemon in my PC just rotting in a box.
Well, real quick. So in my mind, that they're sent to I think that they're sent to like, if I were designing a Pokeball, like it is like a little world that they're in where like, for example, if it's a Gyarados, it's a big ocean they get to swim in, or like same with the PC. I don't know. It makes me feel better about my Pokemon just sitting in a ball, that they're not just like bored, but they can actually do stuff.
So is the inside of a Pokeball just the Matrix for Pokemon?
Yeah, that's what I would say. That makes me feel better. So I'm gonna go with that answer.
What did Rogue say?
Rogue said, yeah, she said could be the concept of a pocket dimension like in D&D, but she also had another comment unrelated. She said, I killed my Tamagotchi on accident and felt like a murderer and was so overcome with guilt that my mom had to throw it out.
Bless your soul, you kind heart. I feel like my Tamagotchi sat on my kitchen counter for like 3 months, and then I went back to it and I was like, oh, it's dead.
New
And I
one.
just started a new one. Yeah. No, that is the concept that the Pokeball is essentially just the Matrix for Pokemon. But are we the Matrix to them, and then that's their reality?
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say they're still living in the real world, but the
Really?
Pokeball.
Because how much of the real world do they actually see, and how much time do they actually spend inside the Pokeball? So which is their reality?
Well, before humans came and started capturing them, I would go ahead and say
That's inconsequential.
I don't.
It's not.
Just because they spend more time in this fake world doesn't make it real all of a sudden.
I don't know. I like to think that like my Pokemon would be sitting in their Pokeball on like a pimped out pad, got an arcade machine.
Yeah, I mean it's real to them, but like I don't think it's more real than the real world just because they're in a Pokeball now. That's just
I don't
all I'm
know.
saying.
Their sense of reality is distorted because they're 85% of the time kept in this prison, this Pokeball prison.
I'm only gonna have free range Pokemon, so
Yeah, I was gonna say because like in the show, they all just stay with Professor Oak, don't they? Or is that just Ash's Pokemon?
Well, maybe just Ash, but I can't imagine that every trainer in the Pokemon world would just send all their Pokemon to like a professor's ranch. Maybe specifically, because I would just consider that a daycare. No, those are just daycares that all of Ash's Pokemon are chilling at.
I don't know. I mean, because they're with Oak. Because I remember in the anime, they'd call Professor Oak and like one of his Pokemon would like attack him or something.
Yeah, he had like a bunch of Tauros and stuff
Mm-hmm.
at one point. He's like, bro, you got to stop catching these Tauros.
I know.
Like, what are you doing?
well, that was the Bane
This
in
thing
America
don't
episode.
this thing don't even evolve, bro. What are you doing?
What was he doing? I don't even remember.
That was the Bane in America episode.
Mm.
It was right before the Kangaskhan kid. It was right before that one. It was Bane in America.
Interesting.
Wait, why was it banned in America?
I think there was guns in it.
I vividly remember watching this on TV.
Really? Sure, there was one.
How else would I know about it?
Or altered ones.
Yeah, I think it was
maybe altered.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a core memory. Don't tell me what is that? That whole
Mandela.
Yeah, the whole Mandela effect. I'm like, don't you gaslight me right now. I was like, I know this existed.
Yeah, no, that episode. What are you talking about, Pat?
Well, I'm gonna search it.
Okay, no, it exists. I know what you're talking about. But yeah, I like to think that they're in their own little world, even though the manga says otherwise. And I said,
luxuries and amenities, and they're living their happy life. Yeah,
right. Because otherwise, that's
otherwise, isn't that cruel?
Yes.
Isn't that just animal abuse?
I would say
animal cruelty.
There's a lot of
It's like leaving your cat or dog just caged up all the time, and you're just like, yeah, this is fine.
Well, that actually does segue into our next topic, unless anyone else.
I was gonna say it was banned.
It was banned?
Yep, the Legend of Zucchini was banned in America.
Was it banned initially, or did they take it off after?
Let's see.
Because Pat definitely has seen this somehow.
I'm not tripping. I promise you.
Yeah, let me click banned episode 035. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I can't find. I mean, it literally says episode 035 is banned. Oh wait, it was banned due to prevalent usage of handguns throughout the episode.
Did it originally air and then was re-airs banned?
I don't know. It says Kaiser, the Safari Zone warden, points a gun at Ash's head multiple times.
Oh, well, yeah. Somehow Pat has seen it, and just go with that. Don't ask questions. You don't want to know the answer.
So anyway,
dark internet.
Back to your segue.
Oh no, I was just saying it does tie in with our next topic. Unless anyone has any final thoughts on what's inside a Pokeball.
I'm still with my digital or spiritual blank.
That's so depressing.
So am I.
Oh, okay. Wow, damn. Okay.
They're just in the void of
In the
ever
void.
nothing.
I like my idea better, but
I'd like to think that too, Ghost. That
thank you. Our final topic is kind of a weird one, but if in a hypothetical we deemed Pokemon as not ethical for children to play, i.e., catching animals and forcing them to fight, is there any way that Pokemon going forward could change the gameplay formula and still be successful?
yes.
I say absolutely not.
Oh, okay. Let's hear your guys' thoughts
Pokemon
then.
Snap.
So it would just be Pokemon Snap forever now?
Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Ranger. They tried different outlets outside of the main mechanic of what Pokemon's known for, and it's been highly successful. So why could they not have off-branching games that were just as successful?
Do you think they were as successful as a mainline series game though? And it could be sustainable?
Maybe not as successful. And when you put it that way, not necessarily. Would they have some degree of success? Yes. Would they also be able to provide a sustainable product? Yes. Because there's various things you could do. I mean, you could do Pokemon breeding games to where you're essentially like, for example, Lapras, right? So in the original games, Lapras was deemed on the endangered list, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a whole Reddit post to where like somebody was saying that because Lapras was endangered, they used to breed them and then release them into the wild to try to repopulate. And then later on the games, Pokemon Company actually saw that viral post and changed the description of Lapras, saying that through like rehabilitative things as far as like wildlife preservation goes, the repopulation of Lapras is now at a healthy number. So you could do things like that to where you're a Pokemon Ranger or you're a Pokemon breeder or Pokemon Snap to where you're taking care of animals at a daycare, you're taking care of wildlife preservations, you're taking photos as far as photography of Pokemon goes. You could also do it to where people would totally have it to where I mean, the Pokemon mini games were such a thing to where you could do a Mario Party type thing. There's so many things that you could do that I feel like it wouldn't necessarily be what the main game is known for, but you would just have a bunch of subsidiary off branching games that would cohesively be successful.
Interesting. I would love a Mario Party style Pokemon game. That'd be sick. But Docs, I'm interested to hear your side of this situation.
It's what the franchise was based off of from the start. So we didn't have the spin-offs from the start. Like the show itself, perpetuates "Gotta catch them all." I mean, that's the whole tagline of the franchise. Not "Gotta take a picture" or the first selfie. Like there's no.
But you are catching them all by taking photos of them.
Gotta catch them all on Kodak. I mean, but
Yeah.
that's the thing is like that's exactly what they built the franchise on. I don't think they could have built it on like this time you're gonna put a bandage on their boo boo. This time you're gonna get a picture from with the 3-point lighting premise. Like I don't think they could have sold that in terms of collecting. That's big no matter what generation it is, and collecting them all, completing a Pokedex. Uh, People are completionists by nature. A lot of people they want to complete something. So yeah, you can be like, oh, take a picture of every Pokemon, but it's like, catch every Pokemon, and that could be a lot more challenging. People want competition with battling. I don't think those side games would have given enough of those factors to then warrant their popularity. I think it would have been a huge failure, especially with the show not promoting any of that stuff. I mean, yeah, Brock wanted to breed. Tracy wanted to take picture, or was Tracy drawing or taking pictures?
Drawing.
Drawing.
Yeah. Yeah, but then, I mean, like, there were side characters in the show that did that, but the main character's goal was to catch them all and battle. So I don't think they would have gotten anywhere near as far if the games or if the whole premise wasn't capture and fight.
Yeah. So I'm saying, I guess, like, so all the games as they were are still around, but like this is like going forward. Do you think the fan base would abandon the game series at that point, or do you
Yep.
think they would still?
Nope.
Do you think they'd be donezo?
So if you just remove fighting, if you keep every interaction and everything in all of the games, and you just removed fighting out of the games, how do you think that would work?
It's one of the reasons why I hate Arceus. Legends Arceus. There's very few battles.
You hated the post game.
The story was good, but I really didn't like most of the game.
Okay.
It was also very well received. So you can come up with a model that has little to no battling that can be successful. It was very well received, Pokemon Arceus. I loved that game. Loved it.
So one of the questions I was going to ask, do you think the battling is more important to you or the collecting? Like if you can only pick one or the other, which one do you think is more important to the Pokemon identity? Or do you think they're equal?
Ox, take it.
Personally, I collect over battle, but I think they're equally important to the success.
They are. They are. I'm a collector. I mean, I've told you guys before that in Scarlet Violet, I literally collected every item in the game, every TM in the game, have multitude of excess items as far as mints and rare candies, etc. go. And I was super into the competitive scene, so it was a very important aspect for me as far as the collector sides go. That was driven by the battle side of the game. So they kind of go hand in hand because what's the point of collecting all these battle items, all these berries, all these leveling up materials, if not to train my Pokemon in order to battle with them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
so they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, because I was thinking of a solution if you were able to catch a Pokemon, maybe release it. I don't know, but like the concept is you're learning about Pokemon, filling out like the decks and stuff, like kind of like Arceus. You're getting the more and more you catch, the more and more you get. For me, like the way I play Pokemon, I just give them the strongest move. So I try to knock them out once and go. Like I'm not all interested in that kind of aspect. So personally, I don't know. I think I would be okay with a game where you literally just go around and collect Pokemon and then don't battle anybody.
I like the battles for a sense of progression.
That's fair.
Like,
it is, because it makes you feel like you're working towards something.
Yeah. I didn't know where I was at any given point in Arceus.
Well, that's why like learning about the Pokemon and like filling out the decks could be like, that could be your sense of progression.
But I get what Docs is saying because it's a tangible sense of progression to where it's like you go and you face a trainer. I only died one time in Violet, and that was because I was on some hillside and I accidentally, which some of the game mechanics irk me to where it's like you can skip trainers and when you walk in front of them, you don't even have to battle them and you just bypass them. I don't really care for that. But
I loved it.
I talked to this one, well, sure, but I don't know.
I was like, bye.
Call me nostalgic. But I faced this one trainer who had like level 50 Pokemon, and I only had level 30 Pokemon, and I'm just out in an area to where I have no business being in yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those moments where it's like, oh, I shouldn't be here yet. And it got absolutely mopped by this guy. And I was so mad because I was in the middle of nowhere found no fly point that was anywhere relatively close. And I got so salty that night because I got sent back to my last Pokemon Center point, and I was so far away from where I was at that I got sick and turned the game off. And as salty as it made me happy because it was nostalgic of like the old game,
Mhm.
where if you wipe out, you just get sent to your last Pokemon Center, and you're just like, oh man, I really have to do that all over again.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see the battles as any marker of progression outside of like, oh, okay, I can't challenge this person yet. I don't see it as any different as like just filling out.
It gives you direction on where you should be at in the game, whether you're under leveled or over leveled. So I understand what Docs is saying by it kind of gives you a sense of purpose of and drive of, oh well, I'm under leveled for this area. I need to grind.
Yeah, that's
And
that's just like a more linear way of kind of thinking about it. You know, like
I'm a very linear person, so
right. So no, that's fine. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying like I don't think that's the only way you could measure progression. That's all.
true. I mean, progression can be, where's my Pokédex at? What does my bag look like? Do I have the items necessary to do the things that I want to do?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm a collector. In all my games, I always collect everything. Like if Sword Art Online was a thing, I would be the merchant. Okay.
That's fair. I know. That's how I am. I don't use anything. You should see my bag. It's literally just filled to the brim with items that I'll never use. But I still have to like comb the area for absolutely everything.
Oh yeah.
Like, why? Why? I'm not going to use this
See,
item.
I keep one of everything in my inventory, and then I just fire sale the rest to buy battle items
That's fair.
and mints and candies.
Dude, I'd have so much money if I just sold these things because like I said, I'm not going to use them.
I'll sell your bag. Last time I sold my bag, I almost maxed out.
Oh my.
9999999.
Oh my god, I need to do that.
Yeah.
But then I also I want that item just to have
So
it.
save one. Just save one. You
No.
don't need the 42 max revives in your bag.
But you
okay?
never know. You never know. The one time I sell them all is the time we'll need them. That won't happen.
Save
but
6. You'll
Okay.
be able to revive your whole team.
I guess I just gotta be prepared. But any other thoughts on if Pokemon would survive in any other format outside of what we have
It's
for the
an
minute?
absolute no. I don't see it.
I was like, hell no.
I think it would. I think it would survive. I don't think it would be quite as successful as it is. If you take away the battling mechanic, I feel like you take away a huge sense of purpose to what the games actually fulfill in people, which
Yeah.
is the competitive aspect. I feel like once you take away that competitive aspect and drive in a game, it makes it lackluster for people.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I think since Pokemon is such a big franchise, like people still buy the I almost said off-brand games, the spin-off games. I still think there'll be an audience for it. Just the people who only play the main series games are not gonna. I don't think they'll flock to anything different. But
I mean, my whole comparison is the whole Animal Crossing thing.
In what way?
Just in general, I don't know. I feel like the spin-offs, I feel like you guys aren't giving them their flowers.
No, I think I am. They sell well. I'm just saying the people who only play the mainline game, I don't think they're gonna care about. Like I'm just saying, for example, if you only ever just played the main series game, never played like Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Snap, never cared about it, I don't think this is going to be the catalyst to be like, okay, now they might check it out, but I don't think it's going to be. It would be
Enough.
Yeah. It'd still survive. Like Pokemon would still be around, obviously,
True.
but I just don't know if people are just only interested in the main series game.
Yeah, you would just have to market it differently. Different demographic, different age group, different audience.
Yeah, I think it would give them an opportunity to do new things, though. Honestly, like try different things. But Not to say I
Yeah.
want the main series games to be any different than, I mean, outside of being better, but the formula at least.
They should try to turn it into a trading card game.
Pat, are you okay?
Nah, hold on.
We're having some
Okay.
technical
Pat lost
difficulty.
electricity.
I don't know what's going on. The light came off. All right.
I fucked up. Oh, my bad.
Well, I think we should all go to bed.
Yeah, we should probably wrap it up there. Docs, do you want to go ahead and tell everyone where they can find us?
You can go ahead and find us on the Facebeam.
Nah, it's Podbean and YouTube and basically everywhere you get your podcast, you'll find us, or just Google Indigo Plateau Show. Something will pop up where you can listen to us. Pat, anything to say for yourself?
I'm sorry.
Anyway, what happened? What even happened?
My ring light, I accidentally kicked the cord and I just ripped the cord out of my ring light.
Oh my god. Well, we're at the end anyway, so it's all good.
It's been a long day. It's been a very long day. I need to go to sleep. Had attack signing out.
Say goodnight. Bye, guys.
Good night.
Bye.